Hello everyone. Once again welcome to PM Networking. Guys, today in this video we are going to understand three application layer protocols. First one is TFTP, second one is FTP, and third one is DHCP. See, we are going to perform practical of these three application layer protocols in this video. But before starting the practical, I would like to tell you some points about this protocol like TFTP. First, TFTP. So TFTP, as you know, works on UDP at transport layer and it uses port number 69. And what is the use of TFTP protocol? It is used to upload and download file from file server, right? So it uses port number 69 and UDP protocol at transport layer. Here in case of TFTP, authentication is not required. Let's say if you want to download something from TFTP server, I am going to show you practically as well. In practical also you will see password is not required, right? So in TFTP authentication is not required. Directly you can upload or you can download the file on TFTP from TFTP server. It usually used to upload or download a small file. Usually used to upload or download a small file. Let's say size of your small file is small, then you will upload your file on TFTP server. Generally we are using TFTP server to take backup of networking devices like routers, switches, right? So if you want to take backup of these devices, you can upload your configuration on TFTP server. And second one is file transfer protocol, FTP. So FTP uses protocol TCP at transport layer, not UDP, TCP. So this is first difference between TFTP and FTP. TFTP uses UDP and FTP uses TCP, and it uses two port number. One is 21 and one is 20. uh, 20 20 and 21. 20 port number is used for control plane and 20 port number is used for data plane, right? And in FTP authentication is required. You will see when we will configure, we will try to download something from FTP server, we need to provide username and password, right? So authentication is required here. And FTP is used to upload and download large file, right? Let's say file size is large, then you should upload that file on FTP server. So FTP is for large size of file, and TFTP is generally for a small size of file. Okay, and then last protocol is DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol uses UDP at transport layer, and it uses again two port number. One is 67 and 68. 67 is used by DHCP server and 68 is used by DHCP client. Okay, DHCP is used to provide IP address to machine dynamically. DHCP server is responsible to provide IP addresses to machine. So in this scenario, as you can see, I have one DHCP server in network. So this DHCP server should be responsible to provide IP address to PC1 and PC2. We will assign IP address on these two PC through DHCP server. DHCP server is going to provide IP address, and you can see DHCP server belongs to different network, right? PCs are in different network and server is in different network. So we need to run one command on router helper address. So you will see what is the command and why we need to run it, because router cannot forward broadcast message. So whenever a client machine need IP address, client machine first generate one discover message. You know, DHCP work on DORA process, DORA, discover, offer, request and acknowledgement. First client machine send discover message, then server will send offer message, then client machine will send request message, and finally server machine will send acknowledgement message. So discover message is broadcast message, one kind of broadcast at layer 2 also and at layer 3 also, because machine don't know about the DHCP server. Machine need IP address from DHCP server, but he don't know anything about DHCP server. So this PC is going to generate one broadcast message, and when router will receive the broadcast message on fast ethernet 0/0, it will drop the packet, because router not forward broadcast message. Okay, router have purport broadcast domain. So this domain is in different broadcast, and this is in different broadcast domain, right? So router cannot forward broadcast message of this domain into this domain, right? So that's why here on this interface, actually I have to tell to router that whenever you will receive any message of DHCP on this interface, please send that message to this IP address 10.1.1.30. Okay, so now guys, let's begin the practical. See how I will perform TFTP practical, FTP practical, and DHCP. First of all, I will configure DHCP service on this server, right? Then whatever configuration is required on router I will configure that, and then we will see these PC are able to get IP address from DHCP server or not. If PCs are able to get IP address from DHCP server, then I will, let's say, create one file on this PC, and I will put that file on FTP server, and then I will show you how PC2 can download that file from FTP server. After that, I will show you, okay, on the router there are some configuration, right? Like IP helper configuration, IP address on to interface, maybe hostname configuration is there, right? So I will take backup of router configuration on this TFTP server. After that, I will delete the configuration of this router, and then I will try to reload the configuration from TFTP server on this router. So without wasting our time, now let's begin the practical. Here in packet tracer, you can see the topology is same. First, let me configure IP addresses on this server and on router interface. Okay, so on FTP server, I'm going to configure IP, that is on FTP server IP address is, you can see 10.1.1.10, subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, and gateway is 10.1.1.1, the IP address of router interface. So here I have IP address on FTP server. Let me check TFTP server. On TFTP server also, I think so we have already IP address. Let me check. Yes, here also I have IP address 10.1.1.20, subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, and gateway is 10.1.1.1. that is fine. Let me check DHCP server. So on DHCP server also, let me show you the IP of DHCP server is 10.1.1.30, subnet mask 255.255.255.0, and gateway 10.1.1.1. Okay, so we have IP address on these all server. And here on DHCP server, if you will check services field, in services you will get one DHCP option, DHCP service. So you can see this service is by default enable, and here we have two entry as well. I am going to remove this entry for now, and I will configure the entry on this server, right, manually. Okay, let me try to delete this one. This one is default, so here we cannot delete this one and this entry. Okay, now on router, let me configure the IP address. On router interface, let me check the IP is already configured or not. So this is console of router, and here show IP interface brief. So IP interface brief, yes, I have one IP address on fast Ethernet 0/0, that is 192.168.1.1, and one IP address on fast Ethernet 0/1, that is 10.1.1.1. Okay, so on router also we have IP. I already configured the IP address on router, and let me check the running configuration. So run is IP helper address also configured here or not. Let me check. IP helper address is not configured over here. In running configuration, we are not able to see any IP helper configuration, address configuration. Okay, so on router also we don't need to configure IP address. Let me configure the host name only, hostname R1, hostname and R1, and I have IP configuration. Okay, after that, let me take you to PC. This PC have IP address or not? Yes, this PC have one IP address from DHCP server, but for now, let me check again that this PC is able to get IP address from DHCP server. No, this PC is not able to get IP address from DHCP server. This is a PIPA IP address. And on router, I need to check one more thing. Let me check the running configuration of fast Ethernet 0/0. So run interface fast Ethernet 0/0 to check. Okay, this command, we cannot run this command in packet tracer. Okay, fine. So run. Let me check the running configuration once again. I think helper address is there. Yes, IP helper address is there. Let me remove this command also, so that I can show you the command. Interface F0/0 and say no, and then paste. Let me copy this command from here, and I am going to remove this command. Okay, let me say helper IP helper address 10.1.1.10.1.1.30. I have removed the configuration. Now on router I have only IP configuration, and these PC are not able to get IP address from DHCP server. Even PC1 or PC2. PC2 is also not able to get IP address from DHCP server. It is getting IP address from APIPA. So first thing is, let me configure DHCP server. On this server I am going to create one pool. So here in DHCP, you will go in services section. After that, in DHCP, first of all you will turn on the service, and then here you will create one pool. After that, name of pool is, let's say, ccna. This is lab of ccna, so that's why I have give name to ccna. After that, default gateway IP address. Default gateway IP address will be 192.168.1.1. For PC1 and PC2, this will be the default gateway. Okay, and then starting IP address or DNS server IP address. If there is DNS server, you can provide the DNS server IP address. Let me provide 8.8.8.8, and then starting IP address 192.168.1.2. Let's say, because I have already used 1.1 on router interface, so I am telling to DHCP server, you will start assigning IP address from 1.2, and then add. Okay, and save. That's it. Now DHCP service is enabled on this server. If I will try to get IP address on PC from DHCP server, you can see still I am not able to get DHCP IP address from DHCP server. The reason is you can use simulation mode here. If we have enabled the simulation mode, and now if I will try to request for IP address, you can see PC is generating discover message, and router will drop this discover message. Router is going to drop this discover message. You can see router is dropping the discover message. Router is not forwarding discover message to DHCP server, because discover message is broadcast message, right? I can show you again here. Here you can see, if you will open this DHCP discover message, you can see at layer 2 it is broadcast, at layer 3 it is broadcast, at both layer it is broadcast. Okay, so let me come to real time again, and now we can tell to router that whenever you will receive discover message on fast ethernet 0/0, you will forward it to DHCP server. So on fast ethernet 0/0, you need to run this command, interface fast ethernet 0/0. Here I am going to say IP helper address, IP helper address, and then IP address of DHCP server. So after running this command on router will send unicast message to DHCP server. Okay, and now if I will try to get IP address from DHCP server on this PC, let me try. Now is PC able to get IP address? So yes, now PC is able to get IP address from DHCP server, because this time my IP address is 192.168.1.2, subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, gateway IP address is 192.168.1.1, and DNS server IP address is 8.8.8.8. Means DHCP server have provide these all information to PC1. And let me check PC2. PC2 is also getting IP address from DHCP server or not. Yes, PC2 have also get one IP address 192.168.1.3, subnet mask 255.255.255.0, default gateway 192.168.1.1, and DNS server IP address 8.8.8.8. Okay, and now from here, let's say from PC number 1, I am going to check the connectivity to FTP server and TFTP server. So in command prompt, we can type the IP address of FTP server 10.1.1.10. Let me check the connectivity with this server. Yes, there is connectivity, means PC1 is able to ping FTP server. Let me ping TFTP server also, ping 10.1.1.20. Because of our first packet will drop, but after that we will get reply message. Yes, you can see, right? After that, again in the same way, from PC number 2 also we can check the connectivity, and we should verify the connectivity first before configuring anything else. 10.1.1.10. Yes, I am able to ping FTP server from PC number 2. Let me ping 10.1.1.20 TFTP server. Yes, I am able to ping TFTP server also from PC number 2. Now, first of all, we are going to perform lab of FTP. On FTP server, first of all, you need to enable the services. So again, you will go in services section and then FTP. And FTP by default, the services you can see turn on, and these are the file on this server. These are the file on this server, and by default domain name is, username is Cisco, and password is also Cisco. Okay, so now I am going to save one file here. So from PC number 1 I am going to create one file on PC1. Let me write anything here. This is let's say ccna lab. Okay, this is one of my file. I am going to save this file, so we'll save it. After that, name of file is, let's say, ccna.txt. I have saved this file in computer. I have created one file. I have saved that file in this computer. Now if you want to verify that file have saved or not, you can check the directory dir. In directory you can see, yes, there is one file with name ccna.txt. Now I am going to access FTP server, because I am going to upload this file on FTP server. So to upload the file on FTP server, first of all you have to access the FTP server. So there should be reachability. This is the first requirement. So yes, there is reachability between this PC and FTP server. Then we can access FTP server by running command FTP and then IP address of FTP server 10.1.1.10. 10.1.1.10. Then I will hit enter. It's asking username and password. Username and password. As you know, by default username is Cisco and password is also Cisco. So yes, I got access of FTP server from this PC. Now to upload something on FTP server, you will run command put and then file name, the file which you want to upload on this server. Put, after that, name of that file which you want to upload on this FTP server. So file name is ccna.txt. Once I will hit enter, you can see 16 bytes copy in 0.007 seconds, right? Means transfer of file is successful from this PC to FTP server. FTP server, we can check the directory of FTP server also here on FTP server we can check the directory. In directory you will get one file ccna.txt, you can see here, right? And on the FTP server also you can see here, if you will refresh it, you can see in these file there will be one ccna.txt file also, this one, right? So on TFTP server we have uploaded the on FTP server we have uploaded the file. Now let's say PC2 want to download this file. So what PC2 will do? Again PC2 need to access first FTP server. So this PC will also write this command FTP and then IP address of FTP server 10.1.1.10, and then it is asking for username is Cisco and password is also Cisco, right? Yes, this PC have access. Now to download file from FTP server you will run command get, and after that name of the file, which file you want to download. I want to download ccna.txt. So yes, I have downloaded 16 bytes information. And now if you will check the directory of this PC, first of all let me exit from here. I am in FTP mode, so I am going to exit it, because now I don't need to do anything with FTP server. Here I am going to check my directory. In my directory, yes, I have downloaded this file ccna.txt. Fine, very good. This is the lab of FTP. Now next thing is TFTP. Next thing is TFTP configuration. So to enable TFTP service, again you will go to services section, and then here you will get TFTP option, and by default this service is also enabled. You can see, and there are lots of files. There are lots of file. Now I want to take backup of my router configuration on this TFTP server. So see, on router we need to run one command. First of all, there should be reachability between router and TFTP server. So yes, there is reachability, ping 10.1.1.20. Right, doesn't matter where your TFTP server is located, but there should be reachability. That is the only requirement, right? Maybe there are 100 number of routers between your router and TFTP server, or maybe TFTP server is in different country and you are in different country, right? So reachability is there only. This is the only requirement. After that, here I can run command running configuration copy running configuration to TFTP. TFTP. Copy running configuration to TFTP, and now it will ask TFTP address. What is the IP address of TFTP server? So IP address of TFTP server is 10.1.1.20. Right, then it's asking for the destination file name. What should be the name of your file? Let's say my file name should be ccna only. Okay, then hit enter, and now you can see 650 bytes copy in 0 second. That means we have take backup of my router configuration on this TFTP server. Now let me check the TFTP server, that really TFTP server have now configuration file. So here you can refresh it, and then if you will check the file on this TFTP server, you can see there is one file with name ccna, right, with name ccna, and in this file there is configuration of router R0. Now see what I am going to do. I am going to delete the entire configuration of router 0. I am going to say erase, or we can say reload directly, reload or erase startup configuration, and then we can say reload. I have first delete startup configuration, means saved configuration, then I am going to reload the router, say no. So what will happen after reload? We will not have any configuration on this router, because we have deleted the saved configuration, and we will not have anything in running configuration. You can see host name now is my router, host name is my router, right, router, but host name was R1, host name was R1. If you will check running configuration, so run, you can see I don't have any IP configuration, I don't have anything, IP helper configuration, hostname configuration, we lost everything, right? But my configuration is on TFTP server, on TFTP server. So I want to take backup the configuration from TFTP server to this router. So again, condition is reachability. There should be reachability between your router and TFTP server. So to make reachability, I am only going to configure IP address on fast Ethernet 1/0 of router. On fast Ethernet 1/0, I will configure one IP address to reach for the reachability between router and TFTP server. So let me run here config t command, and then interface fast Ethernet 0/1, say no set to this, and IP address is 10.1.1.1 That's it. Now if I will ping TFTP server, ping 10.1.1.20, you can see there is reachability. Wait for some time, because switch is not up. Switch will take 30 seconds because of a spanning tree protocol. So here again we can try. Now you can see there is reachability, success rate is 80%, right? Now I am going to copy the configuration from TFTP server to router. So let me run command router copy TFTP to running configuration, TFTP to running configuration, and then it's asking for the IP address of TFTP, so 10.1.1.20, and then it's asking for source file name, right? So what should be the name of your file on router? Let's say again ccna, and then destination file name. What is the name of file which you want to restore here? from the TFTP server. Yes, name of file is ccna invalid. Let me try again. Copy 10.1.1.20 and then file source file name is ccna and destination file name is, let's say, default. So you can see we have copy 650 bytes information, and now you can see my host name is R1, right? Earlier host name was router, now host name is R1. And now if you will check running configuration, so run, in running configuration we have, you can see the configuration, we have the configuration on fast ethernet 0/0. You can see we have this configuration on fast ethernet 0/0. This is the host name configuration. Here we have host name configuration, host name R1, right? So everything we have restored from TFTP to this router. And now I will save the configuration in a startup configuration, right? Okay, so this is how you can perform the lab of TFTP 0/0. This should be no shutdown this should be no shut. This is problem of packet tracer, guys, because we have copied the configuration from TFTP to router. So on 0/0 we already run a no shut command, so this interface should no shut. But okay, this is problem of packet tracer. This is how we can perform these lab of these three protocols. Okay, and now again, if you can see the PCs have IP address or not. So yes, PC have a IP address from DHCP server and everything is working fine. I have copied the configuration of router on the from TFTP to router. Let's say if configuration will corrupt sometime, so I have backup on TFTP server, so I need to configure only one IP address over here and we can restore the entire configuration from TFTP server. Okay, so this is all about this video, guys. This is all for today. If you learn something from this video, please hit on like button. If you have not subscribed the channel, please subscribe the channel. We will meet soon in next video. Till then, stay safe. Bye bye.